Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade
Shade
and
in
the
the
City.
City.
I'm your girl, Treese.
It's Nels.
And today we are getting into our review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 5, Episode 11. And we're on a lighter note, still very not
You
good
thought
news,
so?
but, huh?
You thought so? I was still like,
Well, it wasn't as, I guess maybe I'm accepting it now. But no, I felt like it was a little, I wasn't crying through the whole thing. So, yes, I do feel like it was a little bit lighter of an episode.
than the last
But
one,
thank
yeah.
you guys so much for tuning in. If you have not already, hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And yes, welcome back, Shade Squad, and welcome all our new viewers. So let's get into it and
Look at you
hopefully
with your fall nails.
Oh yes, my fall
Go
nails.
fall nails.
And hopefully Chanel doesn't get emotional. We'll see what happens.
I what? What you say?
So hopefully you don't get emotional.
I won't. I'm not watching it right now. We're just talking about it.
So we're starting off this episode. We see Stormi and Tiffany, and Stormi is obviously filming her Canvas Girl beauty commercial that she obviously let us know about. Mel joins them on set, and they all sit down, take a break, and talk. They
I think
all
she
the
just
ladies
showed up
look
for moral
beautiful.
support. Tiffany was modeling. I think if I was Mel, I think I would have felt some type of way.
I definitely would have felt like, well, you couldn't, because she definitely came looking like she was going to be a part of the thing.
Yeah, and then she sat down. That's why I'm just assuming it was just for moral support. But
hey, okay. Like Mel said, she all about supporting the Black business.
As long as I ain't being just super emotional.
No. I definitely caught that. So Tiffany brings up how she hasn't seen Mel since the peace party. And Mel compliments Stormi on her successful event and reaffirmed that things did go well. Stormi is very happy to hear this and said that that's what she was trying to manifest this whole time. And Mel says she did such a good job that Destiny actually reached out to her after the peace party and invited her to her photo shoot. So both ladies are in awe and thinks, they both think that, well, that was a nice gesture. We're getting somewhere. They're all very excited. And Tiffany questions if they're friends again. And Mel just kind of looks at her and gives her a side eye.
Why she do that?
Like, don't take it that far. So
Stormi, like, I went by for just a few minutes.
Right. So Stormi questions what she thinks Destiny wanted. And Mel says she didn't tell her. So basically she went in blind. She tells them they talked and joked. And Stormi feels that's deep. And Mel's like, that's not deep.
Not to me.
I said, oh, Jesus.
Mel.
Said in last episode.
You would have thought these girls didn't talk.
Right. Like, I don't know why. I'm not going to lie to you. This particular scene did kind of bother me because she was just so adamant about, like.
It wasn't, to me, it wasn't even just this scene. To me, it was both of them. I feel like they was both giving the same energy.
They were. But I still feel like we can get to that when we get to that. Anyway, Stormi felt that's deep. Mel says that's not that deep for her. And then both Tiffany and Stormi feel that they're on their way to basically being besties again. And Tiffany says they invested too much into their friendship to not be able to talk it out and get back to where they were. Mel corrects her and says, you mean be cordial. I said, damn. And she said, Tiffany says, it's not cordial if someone invites you out. And Mel says, no, we had a conversation. We decided we'd be cordial moving forward. I said, well, Tiffany looks confused. And Mel says, in her confessional that it's frustrating when people make you feel like you got to be friends with someone that you literally cut off for a reason. And Mel says that it's okay to walk away from situations, friendships, and relationships and let that be that. What she say? Let go and let go. Wow. Now, I did see she was sporting her hat in this episode too. But
so yeah. Then Mel kind of switches gears. She is off that topic. She is ready to move on, and she, switches the conversation to her children and trying to keep them with some type of normalcy, she said. And she wants to let them know that she invited Martell, Jesus Christ, these M's, invited Martell and his mother to Destin with them. So the ladies are going back and forth, asking her all types of questions, why she decided to do it and what made this come about. I mean, Mel does not even get a word in. She is just sitting there like, well, if y'all just gonna answer the questions
for me,
for
like,
me,
yeah.
like I'm gonna just, just sit here. And that's basically what they was doing. They was answering the question themselves. And they're like, the priority is the kids and all this other stuff. Mel explained that, she's so happy and in such a good place that it really doesn't bother her what other folks are doing. And despite all the horrible things that Martell has done, she decided to be the bigger person and said, she's grown over the past 2 years and she's seen it in him as well. So she's seen growth. Mel says that she'll be sure to have the conversation with her kids, basically that her and daddy are not getting back together.
Not at all.
Okay. And she's really not even sure that that's even what they want anymore. That, they used to ask in the past and not anymore. She's hoping that Martell does not see this as a door ajar situation.
Right.
Your love.
We all know Martell, like she says multiple times, he sees he's gonna take you give him an inch, he's gonna take a mile. That's what he do.
Basically.
So now Destiny sits down, is getting a visit from her cousin Demi. We saw her last episode. Apparently, she has a makeup line and has been in the business for years. Destiny says that she's learned a lot from her and they are now working on a new venture together. So Demi brings over a few samples of what she's been working on to present to Destiny. I did notice, I guess it was a couple different matte lips, but what was it for me was the Set It Off spray.
Okay, so I'm gonna be shady for a second because that's what we do.
Oh, okay.
I feel some type of way that this woman does makeup and did wedding makeup, but you're on national TV and you look like a high schooler did your makeup.
Oh.
It wasn't ready. Let us know what you think about the makeup.
Well, that part. So, as I was talking about her Set It Off spray, that maybe she didn't use, I don't know, because it didn't set it off for nails. Now, she asked Destiny what she thinks and tells her, that she's thinking, this is where I was lost. They're thinking of a 90s theme, I guess, for their line.
Yeah, I was
confused.
I assumed that she was just talking about like some type of party, or she didn't say like what it was, unless everything just messed it up.
They talk about throwing a party, but I just don't know how the makeup and the 90s theme related.
Yeah, I was
lost there. And then Destiny mentions that maybe they can throw a party and invite the ladies from the peace party. Demi thinks it would be good since all the ladies are kind of in the similar industries. And Destiny questions whether she knows all of them. And Demi's like, no, I know Mel. I went to school with Martell. Demi said she did.
Went to school with Martell.
Right. Demi says she did Mel's hair and makeup for their wedding, and she was a longtime client. She's done makeup for Kimmy, and she says her and Tisha met through a mutual friend. Because apparently these Huntsville streets are small, which I'll be telling y'all. But Destiny asked her how she felt about that night, and Demi says she was here for it. She sages all the time. She was trying to figure out what everybody had to say, and Demi says that she knows people can view them as loud or rude or not being able to take things, and it's not that. And basically, you can see Destiny because she got somebody to agree with her BS and behavior. She's like, yeah, girl, that's right. And like, no, real friends call you out, girl. Real friends do what Kimmy and Tisha did. So just saying. So then basically Demi brings up that Mel said that, she feels like sometimes, you have to let people and things go. And she talks about how Mel basically made the reference of, everybody doesn't need to be friends. And as we were talking about previously, in this particular scene, Destiny goes on to say that, how she judges friendships based off opposition and basically seeing how Mel treated her when they weren't cool. She doesn't feel like they could ever get back to where they were. Demi actually calls her on it and says, well, if Mel came to you and said she wanted everything to be back the way it was, would you be cool? And she's like, nope, nope. And I don't believe that for a second.
Nobody does.
Oh, okay. Just making sure we're all on the same page there.
They both, I don't know. You know what? I can't even say anything about Mel because Mel kept this same energy from the get-go. Destiny is now coming through, like, especially after the last time that they met
Well,
up.
I think after you've been rejected, you probably would develop that. You know what I mean? I have to, in a way, because I do, based off last episode, from what I saw, there was still a desire to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once Mel made it clear, at some point, it's just like a relationship. You have to accept that it's over. And if you don't, then you just kind of look crazy because you're still, you look like Martell. So I'm just saying it's over. It's so the best thing to do is realize that, accept it, and probably carry that same energy that that other person is carrying.
Okay. I got my fan today.
I'm just saying.
Mel and Miss Van are packing up some snacks for the kids to go on their vacation to Destin. Mel let her know that Martell and Marlene, his mama, will be joining. Miss Van said, she hasn't spoke to her since the divorce and asked Mel, how their conversation went. Of course, Mel let her know that, she brought up the situation where Marlene called her lazy and basically said, they both said their piece and, moved on. Ms. Van said that, it made her feel some type of way. So she feels the need that to clear the air as well. We know what happened when Ms. Van cleared the air. Okay. But, she's happy with the progress they've made because she says that's what she wanted. She wanted everybody to get along for the sake of the children and be in the same space and be able to be cordial, how they used to be. Now, Martell and his mom are also packing. Martell is super excited. I said his mama.
Miss Marlene.
Yeah, I said her name enough. Jesus.
Stupid.
Miss Marlene. Okay, Miss Marlene. So Martell and his mama, Miss Marlene, are packing up. He is super excited. He says he's still a little nervous. Basically, Martell mentions to his mom that, when he was playing ball with the guys, they mentioned to him going on a trip may give the kids false hope. And she was like, girl, I said, girl, she was like, just talk to your kids, just tell them, just talk to them and do what you do. Right. This Marlene don't give a damn. She like, look, if that's what you do.
I'm trying to go on this free trip that Mel is paying for. Marlene is down for the ride.
I didn't realize that it was completely free to them until it, it was brought to the forefront. So Martell says that he would love for his kids to be hopeful because only God knows what can happen in the future.
My notes say, I think Mel knows.
I was just about to say, and this is all while Mel is saying she doesn't want to have any serious conversations, that could trigger anything, make you think anything, or feel anything.
She wants no confusion. She wants to be crystal clear.
Crystal. Maurice and Kimmy, it looks like they're in the car coming back from Kimmy's first chemo appointment. She says that she's looking forward to getting through the next 20 weeks of this and having a celebration at the end. Apparently, Kimmy had previously planned for her family to come. And they just happened to come the same week that, she's there getting her first week of chemo. So she got lucky with all that support. Right. She said her son, Jalen, he's not very open with his emotions, but the first night that she told him, he was visibly broken. And they adore each other. So she's praying for him. Let me say something. I broke this down as small as possible, but the way she explained it in the confessional had me teary-eyed. This was the part that I was talking about, okay?
Yeah.
She let her family know that the type of cancer she has is rare. Only 6 to 8 people get it. And unfortunately, it affects
6 to 8%. Yeah.
6 to 8% people get it. But unfortunately, it affects mainly African American women more. Jalen said that, him and Maurice are gonna have to work something out around these visitation hours. Like, sir, Kimmy still know my mama's time. Okay. Right. And Kimmy basically says, there'll be times where, like she understands this is a commitment. Like there'll be times where, sir, you got shit you gotta do.
Or Jalen, you just feel overwhelmed, just as tired.
Exactly.
They say it's just as much on the person caring for you and going through it with you as it is.
Kimmy says that she knows it's a lot, but his commitment to being there for her is exactly what she needed, and says that it's comforting. But she also says, she worries about him because he's a fixer and he can't fix this.
That is the part that almost got me.
I was like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing to me, Kimmy? Jesus. So her niece asked how many of her friends she told, and Maurice kind of jumped in and was like, it's hard for her to relive this. So she really hasn't told too many friends, just their closest of friends. And she says that she really wanted to know what happened with the PET scan before, she had this conversation with her friends. So, in the confessional, she basically says that, she's emotional, and the outpour of support that she's getting from all the people around her, she just says like she doesn't want for anything. She doesn't want for anything. And she says, she believes that she's a thug at heart and she can beat this thing. She got this.
I think that's what made it easy, because of her spirits.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it made you, because she's being so positive about it. It was hard for me to want to feel.
And I think this episode is a lot easier for her to be more positive about it, because she knows what's going on. She knows the treatment, and she knows what could happen at the end versus
right.
Her
she has
being
more
scared.
information.
Exactly.
So we see Mel pull up to the vacation home.
It's beautiful.
And it's beautiful. We expected nothing less, but apparently her and the kids
from Moneybags Mel.
Right. So Martell arrived shortly after with Miss Marlene, and Martell shows up with Mel's favorite.
Like hearing this lady's name.
You stupid. I think what was really cute, Martell shows up with Mel's favorite snack, and she says they're off to a great start. I said,
although he had the wrong one. Apparently, she liked butter toffee. He brought her caramel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she gave him credit for trying.
Right. So Martell says the reason for the trip is for the kids to have good memories with their mom and dad, especially as they're getting older. Mel runs down the itinerary for the next couple of days of their trip. She says she has a chef flying in, so he'll do dinner and breakfast while they're on the trip. I guess they plan to do pizza and wings that evening. And then she takes them around the house to show them the view. And Mel says in confessional, this is their first trip as a divorced couple and their first co-parenting trip. She thinks it can go really well or really left, but is praying for the best. Mel orders them food and goes to check her order. This is Nell's, because I don't even think about that till I go to eat it. Real talk, I really don't, and that's why I think I'd be so mad when I go through the drive-thru and I get home and I realize nothing in the bag is what I ordered. Anyway, so she checks her food and realizes that every food item that she ordered is wrong. Incorrect. So she tells Mark,
and this make it look bad. I don't know what pizza place it is, but look, they showed the box. Okay, this is not a good look for y'all.
It is not.
It could have been me. Look, Mel, you talking about you don't play about your food? Boom. You should have called them people back and had them deliver the correct shit.
Right. So she tells him she tells Martell about how the food isn't right, and she don't play about her food. He know that. And he was like, well, you didn't used to play about your food, but you may now. And it was really cute.
Change should change.
Right. So she tells him, well, they messed up his order because she ordered him pizza with sausage and pepperoni, because that's what he always used to order.
And lemon pepper hot wings, and they just sent plain. Now, listen, with this part, I couldn't blame Martell. With this part, I couldn't blame Martell. I was like, okay, Martell,
I see you. I see. Look, it gave me hope too, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful.
It didn't give me hope, but I could understand why he would have some type of hope.
True.
But
So,
really,
well, I shouldn't even say, let me take that back, Shade Squad, before y'all crucify me in the comments. What I mean to say by I'm hopeful, of course, I want to see a family work out. I'm hopeful that Martell continues to grow and can show that growth and actually change into somebody that Mel would want to be with again. That is what I'm hopeful for. Not him being the same person and that he is, and her just getting back with him because they were married before or they have kids. That's not what I'm saying. So now Martell thinks, like she said, this is very all cute. And he's like, but he's not picky. He'll eat either or. So Mel goes to like show him the bed, but he says that he feels there's a lot of old chemistry there, and he likes
he loves it.
He likes it. Oh, did he say love it? I thought he didn't like it. He loved it.
He said he loves it.
So,
I think even it seemed like even the kids was a little hopeful too. Malia pointed out that they had on the same color shirt. Look, y'all are matching.
they were like, you're dressed alike. And so as they go to tour the rooms, she's talking to him about sleeping arrangements. And Martell, jokes with her. Is like, Mel, we're not sleeping together. And Mel just lets that roll off her shoulders. She don't laugh, don't even.
Look a little aggravated though. She's like,
right.
Don't even joke like that.
Right. My notes say she did not think that joke was cute. And says he wishes he could get back in her bed. And she's focused on right. And so she's focused on being positive, her kids, and trying not to say things that make people uncomfortable. Now, as she lets him know where he and his mom will be sleeping, he questions why he can't sleep on the same floor as the kids. And Mel's like, in typical Martell fashion, instead of just being happy that you're here
for free,
grateful for free, you want to complain about them sleeping on one floor beneath you.
She don't even want you on the same floor, sir. She don't even want you to think you can sneak down the hallway to the bedroom.
Right.
She want to hear you creeping down the steps.
Right. And so she asked him how he feels about the trip so far. And he says it's good energy coming from everybody, and he's looking forward to the next few days. So he asked her the same question. And she said she's glad that they came, and she wants everything to stay positive, and she wants the kids to look back at it as a positive experience as well. She lets him know that she thinks if everyone energy stays in this, right spot, everything will be okay. And Martell questions, well, why would you think that it would be any other way? And she reminds him that a lot of the time he doesn't understand why things go the way that they do, but they do. I said, well, damn. So then he tries to reassure her that there won't be any issues. And she then tells him to get out of her room and, close the door behind him. She says in confessional, these subliminal messages Martell is sending, ain't it? Okay. And says it's not for her, no, I'm sorry. It's a no for her, a hard no for her. And said, we ain't sleeping in the same boot room together, same bed, holding hands, not nothing. And I ain't mad at her for it. So then, Martell got to go talk to Miss Marlene.
Miss Marlene.
And, look, I think Miss Marlene is just as hopeful as I am.
Mm-hmm. That's why she was like, just talk to your kids. Just
right. Whereas Miss Van be like, whatever you want to do for the kids, let's just make sure it's for the kids. So, Marlene asked Martell how he thinks things are going. And she talks about how happy the kids are. And that's the reason they wanted to do this. Martell says it seems like old times. And he talks about the positive energy. The kids are in Mel's room and they tell her they feel like things are different between their parents for some reason. And I'm not going to lie. I hate to tell Nels when she's right about something. I'm not going to say that this trip was a mistake. Or, I'm not going to, this is what they decided to do. They thought this was best for their children. What I will say is, to Nell's point that she made earlier on when the season started, this can be confusing as hell, and it's definitely going to make them hopeful. I think that's exactly what this is doing. And I just feel like Maurice and Marceau said, just from speaking from their own experience.
Their experience. You would think that you would take that into consideration. This is something they experience. They're not just talking about what they think.
So I don't know. Let us know what y'all think. is it too confusing to the kids, or hey, are they, doing their best and still trying to keep, as Mel said, a sense of normalcy for them? Which I can applaud. If you can be adults and be able to do this together. I guess I've only seen this after both parties are already married to somebody else.
Because
And
they all
then,
do it together.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so Mel explains that, it is different because they both love them and they want to do things with them and be able to be around each other. She lets them know they're not getting back together. But they can get along and spend time as a family. Now, Martell tells Marlene he loves the kids and, they're still so young at heart and just enjoy being around their parents and seeing them together. And Marlene says seeing them together with the kids was a beautiful thing. And Martell says he doesn't want to cause the kids any heartbreak and says that he understands, says that they understand that mommy and daddy are apart. However, he does want them to be hopeful and says he's still hopeful, but they'll see what God has in store for him in the future. Thank you guys for tuning in to another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 5, Episode 11. If you have not already, please hit that like button.
Comment.
Subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And guys, please make sure you're following us on all the platforms. As you know, a lot of our shows are going off. It's holiday season. So we're getting creative, bringing, some more content to you guys. So make sure that you're staying tuned in. That you do have the notification bell on, so you know when we're coming through with new stuff. And we will definitely catch y'all before Thanksgiving. But if we don't, happy Thanksgiving to you all. Yes. And have a wonderful night and a happy holiday. Love you guys.
Good night.